The House and the Senate are both back in session. This is going to be a pretty big week for the House of Representatives because they'll have an election on Wednesday for Speaker of the House. House Speaker John Boehner is resigning from Congress, and we expect Representative Paul Ryan, the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee, to be elected Speaker of the House. On top of that, the House has got a full week of legislative business. And there's a bill that we're interested in. It's H.R. 1090. It's the Retail Investor Protection Act, sponsored by Representative Ann Wagner from Missouri. And this legislation would delay the implementation of the Department of Labor's fiduciary rule. We have been outspoken in our opposition of this proposal, and we've asked Congress to take action. So we're real pleased to see H.R. 1090 on the floor, and we strongly support it. In addition, it is possible that the House will consider a short-term surface transportation reauthorization bill to give them some more time to enact a longer-term fix. And in the Senate, we are closely watching the cybersecurity bill. This is legislation that we support, but we're watching the amendments that are offered. We're concerned that Senator Elizabeth Warren may offer an amendment that would give NCUA the authority to examine third-party vendors. We oppose that amendment, and we have urged the leaders in the Senate not to allow that amendment to be considered. So usually we have a number of hearings that we're following, but this week there's just one, and it's a pretty important hearing for credit unions. On Wednesday, the Senate Banking Committee is going to hold a subcommittee hearing focusing on the regulatory burden facing credit unions and small banks in rural areas. And a CUNA member is going to testify at that hearing. Her name is Carrie Wood, and she's president and CEO of Timberland Federal Credit Union in Dubois, Pennsylvania. It's a $60 million low-income credit union. And she is going to talk in her testimony about how the wave of regulatory changes affects how she serves her members, what she's had to do to comply with those regulations, and what that's meant in terms of her ability to serve her members. So we're real pleased that Carrie Wood is going to be testifying in the Senate Banking Committee. It should be a great hearing. We're very actively monitoring a situation that's developing in state capitals where retail associations are asking state attorneys general to send letters to Congress asking Congress to mandate chip and pin solution. This comes on the heels of the liability shift that took place at the beginning of the month. It's the reason that consumers have been receiving those cards with microchips on top of them. But essentially now a merchant would be held liable if there's a data breach and they're not accepting those chip cards. So what the merchants want is for Congress to mandate the use of chip and pin instead of chip and signatures as has been deployed. What we've told the state attorneys general and what we've told Congress and others is that one piece of technology isn't a panacea for data security concerns. That we need to allow technologies to develop. We need to have a policy that allows technologies to develop so that things like tokenization or biometrics or other ways to secure data can be used, can be deployed, and that public policy doesn't box us in to simply having a chip and pin or chip and signature model. So we've encouraged the attorneys general not to sign that letter, and we have encouraged Congress not to mandate chip and pin.